just right here on ChannelOne TV. Well, let's give you some quick news. Okay, we'll begin with ChannelOneNews.com. ChannelOneNews.com. Let's give you some of the news articles that are here. We have accept your new status as minority leader. Ahmed Ibrahim tells Afenyo-Markin, accept your new status as minority leader. Now, this is going to cause some angst, but it is the way it is, or rather, I should say, it is what it is. Somebody said that Abba bought Techino. They bought Banswa, say, well, that's really what it is, So, way back a few years ago, when Michael Quay was Speaker of Parliament, some of these decisions were done, and it seemed appropriate and it seemed good at the time. Well, guess what? This time around, the other side reminded that, hey, listen, you did this thing before. Right now, we're looking at this situation. Please, it's time for you to apply the same rules. And guess what? They apply the same rules. Now, to help me to go through the news this morning, well, I have joining me on the set to make this thing very exciting. I want to know what her thoughts are on this matter. Apioko has joined me. She is the head of progress production right here at ChannelOne TV. Apioko.
Hi, David.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm all right. I'm about to... I don't know. The weather is not too great for me.
Okay.
It's just oscillating and it's causing issues with my sinuses, but I'm fine.
That's good.
How are you?
Well, it's very bright.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, bright and beautiful. Yes. So, this thing that happened in Parliament yesterday, it's very interesting times that we find ourselves in. Because you see, somebody made a comment and said, and this was Kuku Azar, he says, Bagman's declaration of 4 seats vacant sets a dangerous precedent. But I'm intrigued by the statement in the sense that the precedent was set some time ago, not this time.
Yeah, I mean, dangerous precedent, has he explained what he means?
Well, okay, so let's take a look at what he says, right? So this is what Prof is saying. Professor Stephen Kweku Asari, he says, he's commonly known as Kweku Azar. Now, he says he has expressed concerns over the recent decision by the Speaker of Parliament, Aban Bagbin, to declare 4 parliamentary seats vacant. Kweku Azar believes this ruling sets a dangerous precedent, potentially discouraging MPs from planning future political ambitions due to fear of punitive consequences. Now, in a Facebook post on Thursday, October 17th, Kweku Azar stated that the decision could destabilize the balance of power determined by the electorate and create an environment where MPs feel restricted in exploring their political futures. Now, he emphasized that the ruling could have broader implications for Ghana's parliamentary system overall democratic processes, warning that such rulings may deter lawmakers from pursuing independent or diverse political paths. Okay, so the story goes on, but that's basically what he's trying to say, that you chose to go this way. It's like you are restricted or constrained, on that path. But like I said earlier, this precedent was actually set some time ago.
I mean, I haven't been able to dig into the Constitution to really see what it says about the situation. But it does say something.
Yes, it does say something.
And
I actually looked at it.
When people vote, when we vote for parliamentary candidates to represent our constituencies, to represent us in the legislature of Ghana, we don't just vote them based on their personalities. We also vote for them based on the political parties that they're attached to and their ideologies. Political ideologies, social political ideologies, socio-economic ideologies that come with their affiliation to the entities, to the political parties. And so, I mean, and that's the speaker's thinking. Now, look, I mean, when people voted for you, you're voted on a certain ticket, on a certain ballot, right? And then, you see, all sorts of things happen. We're in an election year.
Yes.
Yesterday, Parliament experienced this, what we're talking about. But last week, the Speaker was also speaking about how you know, a lot of our MPs are not in the chamber because they're campaigning, actively campaigning in their constituencies. We have ministers, substantive ministers, who were MPs before they were appointed as ministers. And then we don't see them in the chamber over a long period of time because there are other things that they're focusing on. But particularly when we're in election year, we see so many things happen, including people declaring independent stance and running on independent tickets. You see, so yes, dangerous precedents, we can say that. But then what happens to the deliberations that are going on in Parliament on our behalf? You know, there are so many bills, so many discussions, so many things that are being laid on the table. And then are you deliberating on behalf of the party that we we voted for you,
or as an independent
you know, so let's also look at it this way. But like I said, I haven't dissected and digested the Constitution to see where it comes from.
Let me help us and our viewers with this thing. So the ruling by Bagbin, echoes a similar incident from 2020 when the then Speaker, Michael Quay, made a controversial decision regarding Andrew Amoakon Esiama, the MP for Fomena at the time. We also know what happened then, and then he went independent. Now, in October 2020, the New Patriotic Party formally requested Speaker Okoye to invoke Article 97(1)(g) of the Constitution, which allows for the declaration of a seat as vacant under specific circumstances. So in the interpretation of that Article 97, Professor Okoye then declared the seat as vacant, you know, and it became.
Yes, I mean, but again, so these things, interpretation. Also, some people will say, well, it wasn't interpreted the way it should have been. You know, there are all these arguments, and that's what I'm saying, that I would like to go and sit down and chew on that part of the Constitution, maybe speak to a few legal luminaries and really see, you know, take an informed decision on what I think. But really, from what I know, what I've read, what I've seen, I personally, I can understand where Speaker Bagbin is
no, I mean, I think I agree with him fully, because it is what the Constitution says, you know,
and mind
that once you cross carpet.
He didn't just, these seats were not declared vacant just for members of the party that he is not known to belong to, right?
It affected the NEC as well,
so,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, so right. So go over to ChannelOneNews.com and CityNewsroom.com for your news updates. Well, we have the papers as well. So
yes,
you want to go through?
So I have the Ghanaian Times here. And of course, that big story is here. Speaker declares 4 seats vacant, 3 for MPP, 1 for NDC. And you can read more about that on page 13 of the Ghanaian Times. Then we have, we're committed to transparent, credible polls, says the president. And that is on page 12 of the Ghanaian Times. And he's speaking within the context of the fact that we need our polls, we need our elections to be peaceful this December. CODEO to deploy 4,000 observers nationwide for December 7 elections. And that's on page 4 of the Ghanaian Times. And then VRA senior staff demonstration against proposed merger bill before Parliament. So, interesting times.
Yeah, interesting times. The Daily Graphic also begins with the same drama in Parliament. Speaker declares 4 seats vacant. 24. So it's 2 MPP, 1 independent, 1 NDC. So it's interesting times that we see here. And so all those seats have been declared vacant. CODEO launches a tabulation system for election monitoring. We also have thrilling contest to climax tertiary business sense challenge on October 22nd. So those are some of the headlines. MPP, NDC set for Ayawaso West Wuogon showdown. It's a constituency watch within the paper. You can grab the newspaper to go through that.
All right, we have the Daily Guide. Big one here. Again, Speaker kicks out 4 MPs. MPP boycotts Parliament. So that was part of the drama, the saga yesterday. You know, so the MPP boycotted Parliament. And, you know, we are in very interesting times. Then there's another one here. Anti-LGBTQ bill. File defense in 7 days. Supreme Court to Parliament.
Okay.
And there's a picture there of the Chief Justice, Gertrude Tokon. So, SC to Parliament.
Yeah.
NDC fights EC over a Memphis Central parliamentary candidate, and that's another, interesting thing that has popped up here. Presidential results to be declared at collation centers, and you can read more about that on page 6. Guide radio personalities host Pulse Influencer Awards. So, it's award season. There are lots of awards going around. So that's the Daily Guide this morning.
All right. The Chronicle says, Bawumia set to launch music streaming and taxi hailing apps. Okay. Of course, he had a sit down, with the
with the Creative Arts Fraternity 2 nights ago, and he did say that by the end of this month, so between the end of October and entering November, these 2 things will be launched: a homegrown streaming app for music and content, and then a ride-hailing app that has our traditional taxi drivers at the center of its operation.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Interesting times.
Yeah, it's a lot of other very interesting things as well. Yeah.
Professor Salifo Amarko's fans assault Chronicle reporter and others. Now, this is despicable. I condemn it outrightly, and I believe that the police will be on top of this to arrest all those people who were involved in the assault. Yes, because it wasn't just the Chronicle reporter, there were other reporters that were assaulted and manhandled as well. Take your parliament. We won't be part of it until. This is the anger of the new minority.
It's anger speaking.
Yeah. Afenyo-Markin tells Togbe Bagbe. All right, so the scripture for today is interesting, and I want you to guess who they are shading. Leviticus 24, verse 19 and 20. Anyone who injures their neighbor is to be injured in the same manner. Fracture for fracture, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. The one who has inflicted the injury must suffer the same injury. Who are they shading?
I mean, I don't want to guess. So.
You won't get.
They didn't mention anybody. That I should go and say it.
Oh, me, I know. I know who they are shading.
And I should go and say it. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
We have the news center here, and there's a story there. Bawumia promises creative arts sector tax incentives and streaming platform. Yes, he did say that. He and his team have done a lot of research into taxation around the world, and they discovered that Estonia keeps popping up as the place that seems to know how to do it. Yeah. So they've done their research, went there, saw what it is, and they have a flat tax. And so if he wins, if Ghanaians vote for him to become president, we will have a flat tax. Okay. Yeah, so that's something that, and then there'll be incentives.
I like the idea of a flat tax.
Incentives for Ghanaian corporates and entities, individuals who are looking to invest in the creative arts, so that you can boost the sector. So it is something. One of the other things that he said. So you have here all set for Ghana card rollout globally, starting from Denmark on Tuesday. Okay, that is a great thing to hear.
It's a good one. Yeah,
very great thing to hear. So you can read more about that on page 6.
So
of
you
the
don't need
center.
to be in Ghana to get your Ghana card. Wherever you are, as a Ghanaian, you can get your Ghana card. Yeah. I think it's a brilliant one.
I think it's amazing. Yeah. I think it's amazing. NHIS to cover 4 mental health diseases from November 1. And that story you can read on page 10. I also think that is brilliant. I mean, I saw that and I was so excited.
That's success on all levels.
So excited. It's
brilliant for us.
Because the mental health conversation has moved. Yeah. You know, and our mental health authority, our mental health experts, I mean, doing a lot of advocacy, and it's great to see that now the NHIS will cover that.
Will cover those, those top 4 ones,
It's brilliant.
And hopefully we will expand as time goes on to cover more, even more. Yeah.
Then we have here, Wasa Isukuma chief urges small-scale miners to unite against Galamsey. You thought we had forgotten about Galamsey? No, we haven't forgotten.
Yeah,
we haven't forgotten.
No, and it's good. I like the pressure that's mounting from different corners and different sectors. You know, and I like the fact that the small-scale miners have taken this one World Cup. you know, and the fact that they are chasing out the illegal miners from our water body, it's critical. This is crunch time. There's no games we're playing
because
here,
they are part of the group. I mean, yes, the whole country, all of us are losing.
Yes.
Based on what's going on with Galamsey. But they are directly affected. Affected. Because, I mean, if we're saying, let's ban small-scale mining, which we still stand by, because we say, let's ban so that we can come back to the table, see what works for us, and then we can move forward from there. In modern times. Because people are no longer doing headpan kind of things, you know? So they stand a lot to lose, and we've seen them, we've heard them talk about the economic implications for them, and they don't see why they are being victimized in all of this. So they should speak up against it. They should stand up against it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let me give you the Herald, and then maybe you can do one more paper.
Okay.
Okay. NPP falls on its 2020 sword against independent candidates. Ghana's foreign ministry privatizes visa processing in a $38.2 million US deal. Okay.
Okay.
Privatizing visa processing. Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
Businessmen and faceless politicians salivating over VRA assets. This is coming from workers. All right. And Amenfi Central's PC disqualification dubious. This is coming from the NDC.
All right. And we have here NDC rejects Northern Farmers 3K Ghana cedis relief.
Okay.
And this is from the Republic Press. So that's a big story there. And they're saying as a dry spell bites, that's what's happening.
Okay.
We have man remanded for defrauding fellow Nigerian in $130K US watch fraud.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people are still doing
People are doing wicked
you
things.
know, there's Galamsey things. So people
are still doing more evil.
This world. Anyway, courts adjourns ruling on Bernard Mona's disqualification challenge. And we know what's been going on there. Of course, he was disqualified from appearing or the opportunity to appear on the presidential ballot, and he's been contesting it. Trotro driver killed after a dispute over passenger loading right.
I don't understand these things that happen. I really don't understand these things that happen. You know, and again, you see, I think if we send a strong message by arresting all the people that were involved in that incident, you know, then it makes it difficult for people to continue misbehaving.
When you hear these things, you realize that there are deeper issues. It's not just I got angry because I couldn't do something. This person has anger management issues.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because for you to move from a space of I'm upset because I'm not being given my way to I'll kill you, that's homicidal behavior, and it's not normal. It's antisocial. You see, and these are some of the things that we also need to be talking about, mental health wise. A lot of people are walking around, they're suicidal, but they're also homicidal. And it's not normal.
It's not normal.
You know, so these things, when we hear them, we see them pop up in the news, we shouldn't take them lightly, because it could be anybody.
Anyway, what's cooking? What's happening with what's cooking?
Oh, yeah. So, you know, we're doing a lot of interesting things.
Yeah.
You see.
When can people catch up? What's cooking?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Tuesdays at 6 p.m.
7 p.m.
Yes,
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Yes, on Tuesdays here on ChannelOne TV. And then, of course, we've got some repeats over the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah. And then for those who are night riders, and diaspora members, there are some slots over there.
In the night as well. I like it.
It will, in the next couple of days, you'll be seeing the repeat of an episode that we did with Chef Mami Wachi, who's a chop champion, accomplished chef, Ghanaian chef.
It's gastro?
Yes,
gastro, right?
That's right.
Gastro.
And we did a 3-course wagashi meal.
Oh, I know.
Brilliant. Amazing.
Okay. I love that. Thank you very much for coming through this morning.
Thank you for having me, David.
All right, now we're going to take a quick break. When we're back, we're going to be talking about the road traffic accidents, okay, and the spate of accidents around the country. Nobody gets spared, really. No region gets spared. No area of Ghana gets spared. It's happening everywhere. On all our major arterial roads, we're having accidents. And then we're having accidents right in this capital city as well. What's going on here? And what should we be doing, you know, as a nation to stem the tide of the road traffic accident situation? We'll have this conversation and open the phone lines and hear your thoughts from across the country. Call us. Let us hear what you think. What should we be doing as a nation.